Welcome to the Little League Softball Regionals on ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Let's play some softball, everybody. We're in Warner Robins for the Southeast Region Day 2. This is an elimination game we start with between West Virginia and Georgia. Win or go home. Fans getting into place, ready to watch 4 games today. We have 8 teams here in Warner Robins for the moment. We are playing a modified double elimination tournament, which means it's double elimination until we get to the championship. These are 6-inning games, and every player bats. Winner of the Southeast region goes to the Softball World Series. Today specifically, it is Elimination Day. We have 2 elimination games first, West Virginia and Georgia playing for the right to continue on, and then following that, Tennessee and Alabama will be in action as well. So it's going to be a full day of softball again. 4 days on the schedule. The elimination games are the first 2, and then we go back up and have a couple more games later today to see who will get a day off tomorrow. Here's the batting order for West Virginia, Brittany, and they need to get those bats going early.
They certainly do. Did not have an offensive performance they wanted yesterday against South Carolina, but that was a very experienced South Carolina team with 8 players that have played in this regional before. Got the nerves out, ready to come play ball today in this winner go home game.
And in the circle, Kara Gottney.
We saw her sister in the circle yesterday, Lania, but today it is Kara in the circle. She's going to throw a fastball, curve, really relies on that curve, and has a nice changeup to go along with it.
Lily Padunovac, first batter, fouls off the first pitch. Padunovac yesterday drew a walk. She is 12 years old. Wears number 13 for a double reason. Her dad wore that number, and it's also her mom's birthday, 13th of July. You know, yesterday, Brittany, we talked about all the players that seem to want to be marine biologists. I think runner-up is cosmetologists. I need a good cosmetologist in my family.
Yes, everybody does.
That's what Lily aspires to be one day, the batter.
I need to go to Ulta or Sephora with her and have her just hook me up.
Two and one, the count to Padunovac. Big Hamilton fan. In fact, she loves that musical so much she named her cat after it.
Cute.
Inside, ball 3, 3-1. It's early, folks. It's 10 a.m. and it is going to be another hot and humid day. The humidity right now is at 80%. And there's a heat advisory in effect after 12 today. It's a little chopper. It's going to stay fair. No, did not.
I think it hit her.
It did. So home plate umpire Brad Nelson wisely seeing that, and so 1 out.
This is a tough break for West Virginia, because this would have been a really tough play.
Yeah.
And you see it, the ball hits her left heel out of the box, and if you're out of the box, make contact with the softball, that is an out. Tough break for West Virginia.
Clemens, the batter now for West Virginia, comes from a Little League family. A lot of family members have played in the Little League organization. Look at Lou Green, the West Virginia manager, former college star at West Virginia, went on to play in the majors as well. Good pitch.
Yeah, I like that in on the hands.
How about the shadow right now, Brittany? Get that shadow that kind of crosses over home plate.
I think if it was further out between the circle, kind of splitting the difference between the circle and home plate be an issue. Right now, I think it's pretty good. Shadows can really impact a hitter, though.
If you're a lefty batter, may be a little more impactful right now. You'd be standing in that shade, but the flight of the ball is in full sunshine.
like the thought there, trying to play some small ball, trying to get some base runners. Not a lot of movement on the bases yesterday for West Virginia. It's a good idea. Try and make something happen. Make Georgia, they play really good defense, but try and make them make a play, put a ball in play.
Yeah, you'd expect both these teams to have learned from their opening games yesterday and make adjustments today. West Virginia fell to South Carolina. Georgia lost to the defending champion Florida team. And so Clemens scoots down to first. First walk given up by Gottney. And that'll make way for Raya Boyd to come to the plate. Boyd, a power hitter for this West Virginia team. She has delivered a lot of key hits in the postseason for them, including a walk-off single with 2 outs and the bases loaded in the 7th inning of their state semifinals, sent them into the championship game. Remember, these are 6-inning games. Runner holds at first. Boyd is such a good daughter. If she won the lottery, she said she'd pay her parents back for all that they've spent on her softball, and her pregame routine is to have her dad, Zach, put her shoes and brace on. Runner goes down to second. Got her. Riley Gramley with the arm.
See the smiles behind the mask. What a strike by Riley behind the plate. A lot of speed from Clemens going down to second base, but that throw is on the money and cuts down the base runner for West Virginia. Erases the walk.
2-1 the count. And that is lifted high to shortstop. Sisa settles under it, makes the grab. So we'll see the bats of Georgia as we've completed the top half of the first. Little League Softball Regionals on ESPN are presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. Back here in Warner Robins, game number 1. Wind obviously not a factor here in the morning, just past 10 a.m. local time. We got a lot of fans here though. This West Virginia team, they had 2,000 fans at their state championship game, and a lot of them have made the drive down to Warner Robins, Georgia, to cheer on their West Virginia team. And they're going to need those fans because this Georgia team is at home. The Warner Robins team, state champions. Here's their batting order.
Yeah, this is a team that played Florida yesterday and came out swinging. Put up a 3-spot in that first inning. Took an early lead, and they didn't waste any time. Kind of silenced after that, but they know how to score runs and get things going early.
This Georgia team, their manager Brandon Sisa, who's the battalion chief of the Warner Robins Fire Department, and some of those firefighters were here yesterday. It always makes me feel a little safer when we have the firefighters here like you, Brittany.
Used to be.
There's a look at Coach Sisa, popular figure here in this community. He was a Little Leaguer himself over 30 years ago. And he gets to coach his daughter, Cammie, who is the shortstop to start the game, and also the leadoff batter. It's one of the beautiful things about Little League is seeing the parent-child relationship where you have a parent that's coach, child on the team.
It's always an interesting dynamic. My dad coached me in Little League growing up, and we had some of the best memories, but there was also some times we butt heads.
It's a different world.
It's all about building that relationship.
Sisa looking for her first hit here in this region. Her older sister Addison played in this Southeastern region tournament back in 2023, so she's continuing a family tradition. Dad played baseball, sister's softball. Olivia Kish in the circle for West Virginia. New pitcher today for them. 0-2 pitch. Coach Lou Green for West Virginia is telling us Kish has a lot of variety. Doesn't overpower you. Spins the ball really well. There's a grounder to third. Boyd rifles it over to first, but not in time. The speed of Sisa beats the throw for the infield single.
And speed is something we saw a lot of yesterday. Puts so much pressure on the defense. Nice job going into the hole, Raya Boyd, but just too much speed down the line, hustling out of the box. You can tell this is a winner-go-home game. Everything's on the line. And Georgia gets a leadoff base runner.
Yeah, we've talked about it, but we noticed yesterday just the discipline these Georgia hitters had. A lot of really long, productive at-bats, even though they didn't beat Florida. It never really felt like this way the scoreboard looked. They seemed to be in that game more than the way the scoreboard reflected.
Yeah, certainly. They were going deep into counts, fouling off a ton of pitches. And some tough luck, too. They'd square balls up, but sometimes it'd go just right at defenders.
Karagotny up to bat. That gets away from the catcher, Paisley Hall, so an easy second base taken by Sisa. So Georgia right away with a runner in scoring position with no outs here in the bottom of the first. Gotney, one of two pairs of sisters on this Georgia team. We'll actually see her sister Lania hit after Kara hits. That is smack's gonna drift foul down the left field line. We have the Gotney sisters on this team. Their dad actually is one of the coaches. He's not the manager, but he led us in one of the pledges before the game. Love that about Little League. Have a player do a pledge and then a coach do a pledge. You didn't get to see it on camera, but we've had some incredible national anthems. Kids singing national anthem here.
They've been incredible.
Yeah. 2-2 the count to Gotney. Runner on first here in the bottom of the first inning. Georgia in the white, West Virginia in the yellow. And that is smacked deep. Maybe the farthest ball we've seen hit so far. It'll easily drive in a run. And the triple, no problem for Kara Gotney. That may be the hardest hit ball we've seen all week.
And that's the second triple for Kara Gotney. Had one yesterday. This ball up at her eyes, and she gets on plane and she absolutely destroys this ball. No doubter. This is a large field. That fence is deep, and I think you're right, Sam. I think that is the furthest ball we've seen hit.
That would be a home run in a lot of softball parks. Almost just as good. Gautney's at third, and now her sister Lania is up to bat now, trying to drive her in. So Georgia on the board here early in the bottom of the first. Georgia scored 3 runs yesterday in the first inning against Florida, but those were the only 3 they were able to get. So a very quick starting team, obviously.
Yeah, the challenge for Georgia today is, yeah, we score in the first. How do we continue that momentum inning to inning? How do we keep scoring, getting runs across as the game continues?
We just saw Kara get that triple. Lania actually has hit a few over the fence home runs this year during the regular season. Got ahead of that, fouls it off.
It's a good pitch, changing speeds. Olivia Kitch, you can see her as she pitches, really focusing on spinning the ball. You mentioned it, not going to overpower you with velocity, but she's a spinner. She's got a junk pitch, more spin rate than velo. Love seeing the change of speeds.
So if you're a batter, what's your tactics when you're facing a spinner?
You're going to pick one speed. It's hard when you have 2 strikes, right? You're going to have to protect, but earlier in the account, you're either going to sit something hard or you're going to look for that off speed and sell out to it.
1-2 the count. Hit back up the middle. Kadunovac makes the play, but it drives in a run. So one sister drives in the other sister, and Georgia is up a quick 2-0.
Good 2-strike approach, just putting the ball in play. Middles were pulled back with the runner on third. No choice but to get out at first base, but Georgia, they love hitting in the first inning.
Yeah. Peyton Stewart was 1 for 3 yesterday, had an RBI and scored a run. She was one of those 3 runs that came in the first inning. Stewart also can pitch for this Georgia team. She's a lefty. She eats Chick-fil-A before every game. I wonder if she did that today. There's one on the way in. She could have.
What's she do on Sundays?
Oh, gosh, that's right. Well, it's Saturday. Boyd comes over, grabs the fly ball. Good heads-up play by the third baseman, Raya Boyd. We've got 2 outs.
Boyd tracks this into the sun. Does a nice job making sure she can still see the ball, blocking it with her glove.
It's fun to watch Boyd warm up today. She's got a rifle of an arm. No problem making those throws from third base. Hayden Overcash, part of the other 2 sister duo on this Georgia team, swings and misses. Good pitch. Overcash 2 for 3 yesterday with 2 RBIs. She was huge in their state championship. Scored 2 runs in that game. They played that championship on this very field. You were talking with Coach Siza about playing at home and how special that is, and he was excited about it. But I thought it was interesting. He mentioned the distractions of playing at home, and it's so true. You have friends and family around. All the possible distractions of being in this big moment to take away from what's happening on the field, and I related with that when we were in season and we were on the road. My GPA went up because all you have to focus on the road is ball and school. Overcash hits it out to right field. Good move. Gillespie comes over and makes the catch to save the extra base hit. But Georgia, for the 2nd straight day, scoring some runs in their first at bat today. They lead 2-0. Day 2 of action here in the Southeast region. Elimination game between West Virginia and Georgia. Georgia up 2-0 after the first inning. This West Virginia team is from Logan, West Virginia. It's a very small community. In fact, their Little League has fewer than 60 softball players, but they still field multiple all-star teams. Their local high school, they were telling us, has just over 400 students. And so this regional appearance for this team is a big deal in that area with 1,300 residents. And they, as I mentioned, they had 2,000 fans at their state championship game.
And support, right? To have 2,000 people at your district final game. I know these girls are proud to represent their town, and their town is so proud of them to be out here and see them represent Logan Little League so well.
West Virginia is trying to get the bats going here in the top of the second. Paisley Hall is up to bat now. Hall is a 13-year-old. Some of those West Virginia fans. Just high. Inside, Hall sees the count 3-1. Hall also a cheerleader, does gymnastics. Big pitch coming here for Gottney.
Big swing, 3-1. Something she was looking for, put a great hack on it, just misses. Nice job of Kara Gottney is fighting back to make this a full count.
Georgia is a team that has a lot of different arms they can go to in the circle. Sit on the ground over to Hayden Overcash. She makes the play easily. One down.
You mentioned a lot of different arms for this staff, but this is a Georgia team that doesn't necessarily need a pitcher to come in and strike out every hitter, because Coach was telling us that he trusts this defense, and after watching them play and perform in the field yesterday, I'm a big believer in this defense too. So the pitcher's job right now is to roll ground balls to your infield and they'll make the play.
Olivia Kish, the batter now, is also the pitcher to start this game. Takes a ball inside. She was voted most likely to go pro. Big Chipotle fan. We're getting all the fast food plugs in today. We've already hit Chick-fil-A. In fact, in our hotel, one of the teams had a huge Chipotle spread the other day. Tried to pretend I was with them. Kish, very inspiring young woman, has overcome a lot of injuries this year to get back full strength to be able to play in this Southeast Region tournament. Hoping to get to the Softball World Series. The 2-1 pitch.
You see Kish wiping her hand after that pitch, kind of shaking. I think the humidity, grabbing rosin, didn't have a really good grip on the ball for that pitch. Really trying to establish the inside part of the plate, which I love to see. Righty on righty, going in on that inner half, but make sure your hand's staying dry with the heat and humidity today.
Gottney doesn't get that call either, and so that's a walk. A little confused about the count. Second walk given up by Kara Gottney. Now Harley Abraham will be the next batter. West Virginia looking for their first run of the week so far. Gotney fouls that back. Abraham. Abraham wants to be an orthodontist one day. Apparently she's good at impressions too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, she says she can do Shakira, Mickey Mouse, and Goofy.
I would love to see every single one of those.
We're a part of the Disney family here. We should get her to do it. Oh, and 2 the count. Gotney doing a good job with this batter, getting ahead in the count. Runner on first for West Virginia. That has popped up over Cash. They've both put out so far at second base. So 2 put outs today. Hayden over Cash at second base, and her sister Kylie is behind her out in right field. There's Ava Green. Green, a future veterinarian. Green, 4 feet 6 inches tall. Plays big though. She's the team's best dancer.
It's a good job by Kara Gotney in the circle, getting ahead 0-2 here. Did that same thing to the previous hitter.
Yeah, Gotney's getting better and better. It seems like she had 4 3-ball counts, and now has gotten ahead 0-2, as you said, on these last 2 batters.
Tries to change speeds there. Not a bad pitch, even though it's out of the zone. The hitter recognizes the change of speed, and now they are going to have to keep that in the back of their mind with this next pitch. We've seen quite a bit of change-ups from Gotney. I wouldn't be surprised if she goes back-to-back.
Gets away from the catcher, so Kish easily takes second. So now West Virginia with a runner in scoring position. 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. Georgia scored 2 runs in their last at bat. Counts 2-2 now. And a strikeout for out number 3. First strikeout thrown by Gotney, and Georgia comes to the plate with a 2-0 lead. Georgia up 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the second inning. And you can find Little League on Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at the official handle at Little League. And don't forget to use hashtag LLWS. Quiet morning here in Warner Robins, Georgia. Working a little brunch right now. Concession stand here, by the way, is awesome. I mean, the prices, I feel like I'm a kid again. Great prices here. Come out, feed your family for $10, basically.
Make
Good
a haul
deal.
with $5.
Yeah. Mackenzie White, next batter for Georgia. Mackenzie played first base yesterday, moved out into the outfield today in center field. We were so impressed with her work at first base defensively yesterday.
We have a little delay. Run a helmet out to the bullpen, a catcher's mask to the bullpen.
In this facility, the bullpens are down each of the right field and left field lines.
And it's so cool they have actual bullpens.
They have batting cages as well. When I pulled up this morning, players were already in those batting cages, getting some cuts in. Just an incredible facility for Little League here. And White smacks that to center field. It gets past Clemens. White going to keep running, heading to third now. And Mackenzie White with the triple.
And this is the first pitch she sees. That's a beautiful swing, goes down and gets a great extension through the ball, and this ball is driven into center field. Not much gets past Clemens, but that ball was hit so hard, and then the speed of Mackenzie White standing up on third base with a leadoff triple.
I think she could have made it home. She's flying around those bases.
Maybe she's a team player, wants to give her teammates a chance for an RBI, right?
That's right. Pad the stats. Ella Walters trying to do that. Hits it right back up to the pitcher, Kish. Throw goes home. White scores and safe at first.
And I love the aggressive base running by Mackenzie White. Even though this ball is one hopper right back to the pitcher, her speed, no hesitation coming from third, sees the down angle ball in play, and I think that her taking off for the plate may have just been a distraction for Kish in the circle. We're seeing speed be a factor once again.
3-0 Georgia. So Walters is down at first base as the base runner for Georgia. This is Kylie Emerson.
Nice change up.
Walters at first, the base runner. Georgia scored 2 runs in their first at bat. Already 1 here in their second. Kish doesn't get the strike. 3-1. Emerson, one of the leaders on this team, very faith-driven young person. Smashes that at the shortstop, and it's too hot to handle. Runners at first and second.
And that's just a tough bounce for Lily at shortstop. She was in the right position to make this play, was looking to turn to, and you see that last bounce at the end just comes up high on her. Nothing she could do there.
Danovac kept it in front of her, so the runners stay at first and second. Emily Black, the batter now. Gonna have a little chat in the circle right now for West Virginia as they want to get everybody on the same page. No outs here in the bottom of the second. Big Lou Green coming out to meet with his infield, and they've got some action in the bullpen right now. Let's look at Harley Abraham warming up.
Yeah, I like this timeout. You know, things, a couple bobbles, run across, still no outs. I just don't want to let this snowball into something bigger.
Lou Green played at the highest level in baseball. Coach Green, want to make sure we pointed out his staff. His assistant coach, Jake Bias, has been with him the entire time he's coached Little League. Coach Bias, he doesn't have a child on the team, just loves being a part of Little League. And then one of his other assistants, Lacey Curry, she ended her college softball career last year when she got injured. She was a player at Glenville State, which is a big Division II school. And so she's on the staff helping these young players as well.
Yeah, I'd love to see the former players coming back and coaching Little League. There's so much these young girls can learn from somebody that's been in their shoes, that's played at the college level, knows what it takes, knows the emotions they're feeling in this moment. What a great resource. I just really appreciate the women that give back to these girls, because their experience is something that can't be taught.
Let's look at Lacey Curry. Again, played college softball as recently as last fall. Black, the batter. First and second are the runners for Georgia. No outs here in the bottom of the second. First of 4 games today. This is an elimination game. So whoever loses this game, their season is over. The winner moves on to play tomorrow at 1 Eastern. Nice pitch. Runners going to third. There's the throw. Got her. Good heads-up play by Paisley Hall, the catcher.
Yeah, this play started with a great pitch, a changeup. Then Paisley hangs on to it, doesn't let it get too far, then throws a strike to Boyd at third base. Doesn't even have to move her glove. The ball takes her right into the tag. And that's some momentum, changing the momentum here with a good defensive play to get the first out of the inning.
Takes a base runner off the base path as well. Now just 1 on. Runners at second base. Emily Black yesterday drew 2 walks. Goes after that pitch. Strikeout number 1 for Kish.
And that was a great sequence of pitching too. We saw the changeup earlier in that bat. Then she goes to this drop ball on the outer half. Ton of movement, great location for a 1-2 count. Kish is spinning it and changing speed. She is a tough pitcher to hit.
So Riley Gramley comes up with 2 outs now, has the runner out on second base. Gramley 1 for 2 yesterday. Smashes that foul down the left field line. She's hit a home run over the fence this season. Started playing basketball and flag football this year. She also started cheerleading. She's busy.
Do it all. Love it. Love seeing these athletes play multiple sports.
She said her special talent, I mentioned yesterday, was hitting the ball everywhere but the sweet spot. But that was on the sweet spot. It was just foul.
Sweet.
Again, good work behind the play by Paisley Hall to stop that pitch and check the runner.
I think she was just bluffing. I think she was bluffing. Gonna mess up the scouting report.
Maybe so. Good pitch. 1-2. Kish just struck out her first batter in the last at bat. Ahead in the count here. Kish getting better and better. Strikes out the last two batters she faces. Georgia picks up another run though, and Georgia up 3-0 at the end of 2.
One pitch at a time. No matter how big the game is, concentrate on the job that needs to be done. Focus, breathe, appreciate the moment, because tomorrow will be here soon enough. So be present and live life one pitch at a time.
All 8 teams here in Warner Robins competing for the right to go to Greenville to play in that Little League Softball World Series. Florida was the representative last year, and it's up for grabs again this year. West Virginia and Georgia kicking us off here this morning. Right now we're in the top of the 3rd inning in our first game. West Virginia up to bat, trailing 3-0. Loser of this game, their season is over. Winner moves on to play tomorrow. So first elimination game of the week. We'll have another one, Tennessee and Alabama, after this.
I feel like West Virginia really gained some momentum in the bottom half of the last inning with the thrown out a runner stealing third, then back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning. Really getting settled into this game. I think this is an important inning to build off of that for West Virginia.
Jaslyn Tolliver up to bat, swing and a miss, 1-2. Tolliver, the team prankster, according to her teammates. Up high.
That's a good adjustment. She chased that pitch, the previous pitch, learned from it, laid off that time.
Went after that one as well.
Yeah.
Nice pitch.
Yeah, I love that from Karagotny in the circle. Goes to the back up in the zone. Got her once. She held off the pitch before, but that one just lowered it just a bit to make it look sweet. Nice pitch for the strikeout.
First out of the inning, but second straight strikeout for Godney. And she'll face Madeline Gillespie now. Gillespie wants to follow in her mom's footsteps and become a nurse one day. And Gardner seems to be getting better and better in the circle.
Both these pitchers really settling in. I mean, the nerves coming into an elimination game, you get the ball, there's certainly going to be some nerves to start off the game, but once you get in your rhythm, see what's working for you that day. You're exactly right, both these pitchers stepping up as this game goes along.
Big rip, another good pitch, 1-2. West Virginia is still looking for their first hit. Gillespie uses that KT tape on her right shoulder. That's one of her superstitions. Always has to have that tape on the right shoulder just under her sleeve.
Looks pretty cool too.
Yeah, it's intimidating. Put the eye black on. That's hit sharply to third. Emerson fields it and makes a throw. Nice play by Kylie Emerson at third.
It's a great play on the hot corner. That ball was hit hard, has to move to her glove side just a bit. You see this ball kind of bobble, but keeps her feet moving, sticks with it, and throws a strike over to first base.
2 down. Evelyn Atkins up to bat now for West Virginia, trying to give West Virginia their first hit. Atkins fouls that off. Atkins, a big golfer. And she's not playing softball. Huge Texas Longhorn softball fan. In fact, the person she'd most like to meet is Reese Atwood. Tried to lay down the bunt. It almost was caught by the catcher, Riley Gramley.
That was almost an incredible play behind the plate by Gramley, but I really like the idea of trying to go to small ball, still looking for your first hit, just trying to get the ball in play, force this defense to make a play, and Gramley just about did. Now, Gautney ahead 0-2.
And another strikeout, so Gautney has struck out 3 of the last 4 batters, and Georgia continues to be tough to score on. Welcome back to the Little League Softball Regionals on ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. 3-0 as we head to the bottom of the third inning. Georgia out in front, the hometown team here from Warner Robins. See the fans left part of your picture. Those are all the Warner Robins locals coming out to support their team on this Saturday morning. West Virginia well represented as well in the stands. It's the beauty of Little League. It's all about who has the best community softball team in the world. Who's the best in the Southeast? We're trying to find out right now. Olivia Kish still in the circle for West Virginia. 9 of her 10 first pitches have been strikes. West Virginia just hasn't been able to get the bats going yet against Georgia. And Kai over Cash up to bat now. Another strike on the first pitch.
Yeah, Olivia Kish is really finding her groove right now. Back-to-back strikeouts in the last inning. Spinning the ball well, changing speeds. Really like what I'm seeing from her right now.
Cash fouls that back.
You watch college softball now and pro softball and see the 70 miles per hour, 72 miles per hour. But, you know, you look at somebody like Peja Gould, who got the golden ticket and drafted into the AUSL. She lives low 60s, but can just spin the ball and change speeds and has success that way. And that's kind of what I'm seeing from Kish. It's not overpowering with speed, and that's just fine, especially if you can spin the ball like she's doing today and change speeds.
Do you find that most pitchers that spin the ball at the elite level, they learned that skill, or it was just something they had and they made it better?
No, I think it was just how their body worked better that way, and they bought into it. Because if you try and throw a pitch that you're spinning well harder, you're going to lose a lot of that movement. And I think if you can spin the ball and not try and overpower it with velocity, you're going to have the same results, if not better, because eventually hitters are going to catch up to the speed.
Good lesson for all the players out there watching right now at this age. Overcash staying alive with the 0-2 count.
I think it also has to do a lot with how your body's built. And I mentioned Peja Gould, the flexibility she has in her wrist and fingers, the way she can get around a ball, really leads her to be that type of pitcher. So know who you are, know what tools you're working with, and then use them to the best of your ability.
So when I was in Little League, Brittany, I had a friend of mine, he was a pitcher, threw fastballs, broke his wrist. When he came back from his broken wrist, he could suddenly throw a curveball. Couldn't hit him. Somehow the way his wrist healed made him throw a curveball better. Tolliver comes in to make the grab. That can be a tough play this time of day as you're looking right up into the sun.
A tremendous play. This ball was hit high in the air, battles the sun, makes the catch. Going back to your story, it reminds me of that movie, was it Rookie of the Year, where the kid breaks his arm and then throws the ball back and the Cubs pick him up because he's throwing 120 miles per hour. I'm not saying you need to break your arm to learn a curveball or throw harder.
That smashed up the middle to center field. So a single by Cami Sisa, and coach's daughter, 2 for 2 today.
And first pitch swinging, when you've got a pitcher that can really move the ball and change speeds, sometimes that best pitch is going to be the first pitch, and Sisa jumps all over it.
Kara Gottney up to bat now, had the RBI triple in her first at bat. Here's that triple. She just had her first at bat.
I mean, that pitch was up at her eyes and stays elevated, bat through it. I mean, she got all of that. Ton of power in the box right now. I'm going to want to keep this ball down.
That's hit sharply to third. They get the force. No! Force was on at second, and the ball was dropped. So everybody's safe.
That was a nice play by Raya Boyd at third base. Knows exactly where she's going to go with the ball before it is hit to her. Throws the ball a little low over to second base, looking to make the transfer a little too soon before Green secures the ball.
So runners first and second now. Georgia's threatening again. Rania Gottney up to bat now after seeing her sister just reach base. Georgia has scored in every at-bat so far. Foul.
That was close.
Yeah, our third base umpire, Anthony Estrada, right on top of that bag. Let's see what you think.
That's where the ball crosses the base. That ball goes over top of the base, fair ball. Anthony Estrada right on top of it.
1-1 is the count now. Umpires again doing a fantastic job. They were never overruled yesterday on a challenge. Umpires' calls were all upheld. These are all volunteers as well. That's again Anthony Estrada at third. Our home plate umpires Brad Nelson, Jason Thayer at first, Patrick Reed at second. One-two pitch. Hit foul. She had straightened that out. That was going to be trouble. One out. Force is on right now. First, second, or third. That goes up the middle. And it's going to score possibly another run. The throw's coming into the plate. Safe. Nice slide by Sisa to get under the tag.
And this was a shot. This play ended up being much closer than I thought it was going to be. What a throw by Clemens in center field, and Hall behind the plate does a nice job of catching it, goes right down to the tag. Nothing they could have done more defensively, but Sisa with the speed.
Well, Coach Green gonna head out to the circle now. Second time he's come out today. They had a pitcher warming up earlier. This seems to be just a chat. Georgia's been remarkably consistent in this game. They've scored at least a run in every at-bat so far. They did not have a good day yesterday against a red-hot Florida team, and have bounced back so far today.
See, Coach Green really talking
Paisley
to
Hall.
Paisley behind the plate. I'm wondering, hey, do you think he kind of question, did you get her? Should we take another look at this? We'll take a look.
He'd waste a challenge. But
yeah, it was a great slide.
Yeah.
You'll see a lot of players, especially coming into home plate, lifting that lead foot and not going straight into home plate, but she was down on the plate. Bang, bang play. Great job all around. Base running, sliding, the throw from center field, the tag.
well, it looks like we may indeed have a challenge now. Extend this break. Came out and talked to the infield, and then as he was heading back, asked for the challenge. You get 2 incorrect challenges per 6 innings in Little League softball. So if this call is upheld, West Virginia would lose a challenge. I didn't see anything that would tell me that this call is going to get overturned.
No, I love that. Like, Coach Green came out and was asking his catcher, like, she has a great look and feel of the play, what she thought, but just put myself in her shoes. I think I'd have to tell my coach I got him every time. Just high-level softball there. A tremendous play all around. but I think this one will be confirmed as she comes. You see how she comes in towards the backside of the plate?
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, just tactically so perfect, that slide.
Yeah, that needs to go in a book somewhere.
That's a summer camp play right there. Show the campers.
You'll see a lot of players now try and, hook slide, come around and try and get it with her hands. If she would have done that, she would have been out. Just going straight into the plate was the perfect call and decision by Siza there.
Siza's had an excellent game today, 2 for 2, and if this call stands, she's also scored 2 of the 4 runs so far. Umpires are waiting on the decision for this review. Umpires have been spot on through the first 2 days. Not one call that they've made has gone overturned.
And I don't mind the challenge either. It's a West Virginia team that's had a little bit of trouble scoring runs. Want to keep this game as close as possible. Bottom of the 3rd inning, but I think this one's going to be confirmed, in my opinion.
We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Georgia's up 4-0. This is an elimination game in the Southeast region. Base runners are heading back out. And the call is confirmed. So West Virginia loses a challenge. They have 1 more remaining unless we were to go to extra innings. And now I think Coach Green's maybe making a change in the circle.
I think Olivia Kish has done a great job all game. Just top of this lineup is tough. You saw what they did in the 1st inning against Florida, put up 3 runs early in the 1st inning in that game. Coming back 2nd time through the lineup. They're going to be tough to handle, but she's done a great job in the circle, keeping her team in it.
Well, Coach Green giving his team a chance to reset with this extended break.
Switch the armbands up.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for West Virginia, number 7, Raya Boyd.
So Raya Boyd will come over from 3rd and be our next pitcher. And we will step away and come back with the resumption of this elimination game. Raya Boyd completing her warm-ups, just replaced Kish, who actually was pretty effective in the circle.
Yeah, I really thought she settled in through these second and third innings, but second time through the lineup for Georgia, the top of that lineup is a buzzsaw, and getting to see a pitcher once again. And I think in an elimination game, give as many different looks as possible. And you know, Raya Boyd has thrown a lot of innings for West Virginia this postseason.
Kish threw 43 pitches to start the game. 10 of her 14 first pitches were strikes. And so Boyd, whose favorite emoji is the unicorn, hoping for a little unicorn luck here and lock down this Georgia batting order and then try to get the bats going. That's been the problem for West Virginia today. So far, West Virginia still without a hit. And so Boyd in the circle will continue to face Peyton Stewart.
I think they're going to intentionally walk.
Yeah, looks like they did. So Peyton Stewart has been put on the base, intentional walk, and that will load the bases with one out. So another gamble here by West Virginia.
In this situation, she came in to the inning with runners on second and third, less than 2 outs by intentionally walking the hitter. Now you have forces everywhere. Your infield's pulled in. They can get the out at the plate. It's just a force play and the possibility to turn 2 and get out of this inning.
Hayden Overcash is the batter. First pitch is a ball.
And in Little League, you don't have to pitch like in the MLB and in baseball. You don't have to throw the 4 pitches for an intentional walk. You just signal, the manager will signal that you want to give first base to the hitter, and that's what we saw.
Boyd's first 2 pitches are balls.
It's a tough situation for Raya Boyd to come into as well. She's been playing third base all game, comes over in the circles, now faced with a bases loaded situation.
And that's a called strike. Brad Nelson, the home plate umpire, thought about for a second. Gave her the strike. It's a 2-1. Overcash was one of the best hitters of the day yesterday for this Georgia team. She was 2 for 3, 2 RBIs. Chops that foul. Coach Sykes, if he had a glove on, I think he would have made that play.
I think he had a glove on his shin. Got him right in the shin. You know, the guys at the department,
yeah, you gotta get down.
firefighters are getting on him.
Gotta get down for those, Coach.
You mentioned the infield's pulled in. There's a lot of space between the infield and the outfield right now.
2-2 pitch coming. Fouled off again. Boy, so good at third base. To get by her over there. She traded positions with Kish. Kish, who was the pitcher, is now there on third. Good take. 3-2. Pressure pitch coming. Bases loaded.
This moment feels big in this game. Elimination game, bases loaded. West Virginia could really get momentum if they're able to get out of this, but Georgia could break it open as well.
And a strikeout. Watch out, the runner left at first, and they did not see it. And so West Virginia decides not to throw back over to first base. Maybe fearing that that runner was possibly going to try to score from third. But 2 outs now.
What a big time strikeout for Raya Boyd, coming in from playing third base, comes into a bases loaded 1 out situation and gets the strikeout. Now defense should be able to back up. You have 2 outs, forces at any base. I'm telling you, if they're able to get out of this, you can build momentum for your team on defense is a big moment for West Virginia.
Kinsey White tripled in her last at bat. Boy, there's 7 pitches in that last that is lifted high to center field. Clemens settles under it, makes the catch, and West Virginia's gamble pays off. Georgia strands 3 runners on, but they pick up another run and lead 4-0.
Welcome to the Little League Softball World Series.
This is as big as the event has ever been.
12 strikeouts tonight.
Find the glove!
It is out of here!
The competition has definitely elevated. The best is yet to come.
Such a fun time of year to get to be part of these young people's lives. And if you'd like for your child to experience the teamwork and fun of Little League baseball or softball, visit littleleague.org and enter your address to find a Little League community program near you. Future Little Leaguers there, I'm sure. We always like to point out the culture of Little League siblings. It's a real thing.
It is. They are a special breed. Drug around from ball field to ball field. Digging for some snacks for sure. Got to have that bag packed.
It's a good place to get the snacks at this concession stand. They know how to do it here in Warner Robins. Macy Pruitt up to bat now. West Virginia still looking for their first hit of the game, trailing 4-0. Pitch inside to Pruitt.
That was a long half inning for Pruitt to be sitting in the dugout and having to come back out. Falls behind 3-0. She's been rolling.
And a walk. 4 pitches. Pruitt trotting down to first.
Getting out of that bases loaded jam. The bottom half of the 3rd inning, West Virginia breathing some life into them and getting a leadoff base runner on. And Shanti Hairston is coming up to bat. The bottom of this lineup was responsible for the only hit they had in their first game.
First time in the game West Virginia's gotten that leadoff batter on base. So we'll see if it's the start of something here. Hairston. Hairston goes after that pitch. Runner thought about taking off. Pruitt was getting a pretty good lead over there at first, but decided to come back.
Be smart on the base pass right now. Be tough to get base runners. Want to run into an out.
0-2 the count. Hairston fouls that back, said her favorite music is the sound of a softball hitting a metal bat. So heavy metal music.
So taking the deep breaths, understanding the situation. Hairston's new to softball. Had a big swing yesterday. And I love that. She said one of her favorite things about playing softball is the pool party at their coach's house. I think it should be a requirement for coaches to have a pool so they can have pool parties. I'm right with you.
Apparently there's a lot of karaoke with these teams as well. I've seen that on a lot of questionnaires.
What's your go-to?
I mean, you know, I'm from North Carolina. Go with James Taylor, Eagles.
Just gonna kill the mood with some James Taylor. I don't know where you're going to karaoke.
Put everybody at ease.
Nice at that.
And easily taking second is Pruitt. Count now 2-2. West Virginia with a runner in scoring position again. They have not scored a run yet. It's over the course of their first 2 games. They have some little bit of light here. Count goes full. And the walk, West Virginia with runners on first and second. As the West Virginia team draws 2 walks to start this top of the 4th.
And that's just an incredible at bat. Fell behind 0-2. I mean, for Shanti Hairston to just be getting into softball, that was a veteran AB.
And we're going to have a visit to the circle. Brandon Sisa, the manager, coming out to talk with Kara Gottney, his pitcher. West Virginia's now made it through the batting order for the first time today, so they'll be facing the leadoff, Lily Padunovac.
Their second look. Gottney in the circle.
Georgia, they have a lot of pitchers to choose from. They say 6 pitchers. And Coach Sisa said that during the state tournament he would warm up 2 pitchers before a game and then decide who had the best control that day and start them. Padunovac the batter. West Virginia threatening. Bunt goes foul. Padunovac struck out in her first at bat to start the game.
She had that ball that hit her out of the box. That was perfectly
That's right.
placed, right?
That's right. Ball to hit her.
Tough luck.
She was trying to lay down a bunt as well when it did.
Good response by Gottney in the circle. Comes back, gets ahead in the count.
Fouled back. And the catcher Gramley didn't see it. Nobody could make a play on it. Count stays 0-2. With no outs here in the top of the 4th inning in the 6th-inning game. Winner moves on to play tomorrow. The loser of this game is eliminated. Tough play. They get the force at first. Laney Agotny came over and just checked the runners before she made the flip over to get the out.
She knew she had time to get to the bag. Thought about the lead runner, but nice job of covering first base with Ava Green coming around. But runners did advance to second and third.
One out. Mariana Clemens up to bat. Clemens drew a walk in her first at bat today. Clemens, she'd most like to meet Dolly Parton.
Me too.
I actually saw Dolly Parton pop up on a lot of questionnaires this year. She's back.
She's never left. What are you talking about?
Part of the pop culture again.
She has that imagination library. I wonder if first you'll send a book to a kid under 5 once a month. If these kids got introduced to Dolly that way. I know my son has. And music, of course.
Counter to second, Overcash makes the throw to first. West Virginia has their first run of the weekend. And is coming across the plate is Macy Pruitt. And it is 4-1.
Great job of situational hitting. Had runners on second and third. Needed something to the right side to get a run across, and that's exactly what Clemens does and delivers a run. Sometimes getting that first run is the hardest, and West Virginia has checked that box. Now looking to add to it.
Boyd, the batter. Good pitch by Gottney. Gets away from the catcher. West Virginia will score another run. 4-2. Sprinting down the third baseline was Hairston to score the second run.
About that. Hitters in the 11 and 12 spots in the lineup come across to score in this inning. West Virginia gets out of a bases loaded jam in the previous half inning and immediately responds by cutting the lead in half and putting 2 runs on the board.
1-1 the count to RJB Boyd. Big swing, 1-2. Boyd started the game defensively at third, now pitching. Good comeback from Gottney, gets the strikeout. But West Virginia picks up 2 runs. It's 4-2 Georgia. Yeah, we're excited to welcome you back to the Little League Softball Regionals on ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. This is the Southeast region in Warner Robins, Georgia. The champion of this region will be heading to Greenville, North Carolina to compete in the Little League Softball World Series. Last year, Florida was the champion. And they will be on this field a little bit later this afternoon. Same Little League from Florida this year representing that state. I'm Sam Gore along with Brittany McKinney. This is an elimination game between West Virginia and Georgia. Raya Boyd still in the circle. Tennessee will be in the next elimination game against Alabama. The game is scheduled for 1 Eastern. So Ella Walter steps up to try to get a Georgia rally going here after they just gave up 2 runs, and she does it with the base hit to left field.
West Virginia putting some pressure on this Georgia team, cutting the lead in the top half of this inning. Some insurance for Georgia as we get later in this game. It's going to be really important. And Walters, the shot through the 5-6 hole to get things started.
So Georgia with a runner on right away. They have scored a run in every at-bat so far in this game. Kylie Emerson up now. And Emerson sends that to left field. Back-to-back base hits for Georgia. I think they got fired up.
Yeah, aggressive early in these at-bats.
Georgia, 2 runs in the first inning, now 2 more the rest of the game. Yesterday they had 3 runs in the first inning and didn't score again, so they're more consistent today. Georgia's 2 for 8 with runners in scoring position in this game. Emily Black trying to increase that percentage.
West Virginia has their corners pulled in tight. That previous pitch still up, expecting some small ball here.
It's a little high, 2-0 the count. Just a beautiful facility here in Warner Robins. This Georgia team from the Warner Robins Little League. So rare to have your hometown team hosting a regional. It's chopped foul. It's going to be another hot, humid day here in Warner Robins. Yesterday we were interrupted by rain and lightning for about 2 hours. Good to get that first game in. Runners at first and second for Georgia. It's the 2-1 pitch, no outs. That is lifted high just behind the shortstop. Padunovac could not hold on. She throws to third and still gets the force out because the runner was holding, anticipating that ball being caught.
That's nice recovery and heads-up play by Lily at short. This is going to be a tough play right in that Bermuda Triangle of 3 players coming together. Almost has it, but knows that the runner's having to hold. Throws a strike to get the force out at third base.
Good heads-up play by Padunovac. Runners now at first and second for Georgia with 1 out. Riley Gramley, the batter. Just high. Gramley's mom, Erin, a school principal. Her dad is supervisor of the U.S. Department of the Air Force. In this Warner Robins, big military town.
pitch, especially working inner half with a force out at third base. You can get a rollover to the left side possibility, not just get the lead runner, but to turn two, like the approach going inner half there. But as a hitter, it's a good take. Not much you can do with that pitch besides roll it over to the left side. So looking for something out over the plate here.
Family taking her time to get in the batter's box here. To count 1-1. 1-2. West Virginia trying to hold Georgia scoreless for the first time in an at-bat so far today. Doesn't get the call. 2-2.
I'd go right back there. Try that spot again.
I feel like I'm watching a chess match or a staring contest.
Right? you get on the rubber. You get in the
Yeah,
box.
Gramley and Boyd, just who's going to go first? And he fouls that off. Just very deliberate. Gives the pitcher a little bit of a stare down before she puts that second foot in the box. Gramley hits it to short. Padunovac makes the throw over to first. Runners advance to second and third, and 2 outs.
It's a productive out too. Falling behind in this at bat, still able to get something on the left side, but not hit hard enough to get the lead runner. So a productive out, moving runners up 60 feet.
Kaya Overcash up to bat now. It's a good play by Padunovac on that put out at first. Came charging in on that grounder. Overcash, future attorney, because she says she likes to be right. Fouls that off.
We saw Raya Boyd work out of a bases loaded situation when she came in a relief. This inning gets up 2 leadoff single or back-to-back singles. It's almost like as the pressure builds, the more she settles in and meets the moment.
Georgia looking to get an insurance run here. 2 outs. Georgia has not scored on Boyd yet.
They've had opportunities, but Boyd's just been nails out there. The pressure's on, she gets locked in even more.
Nice catch off the backstop. Paisley Hall. 2-2 the count.
If we're playing banana ball, that might have been an out.
Yeah, that's right. It could have been. Kai Overcash collects perfume. She always wants to smell her best when Wonder what she's wearing up there at the plate today. There could be trouble. Nice play at third base by Kish to avoid another run. And so West Virginia keeps Georgia from scoring a run for the first time in an at-bat.
Defense coming up big. Olivia Kish comes across the infield to make the play, get out of the jam. West Virginia looking to cut into the sleeve.
Karagotny working on a no-hitter right now, Brittany.
Yeah, even though there's 2 runs on the board for West Virginia, Gottney has not surrendered a hit. She's got a handful of strikeouts. She's been changing speeds, working all quadrants of the zone. She's been locked in and is throwing a gem right now. It's always odd to see a number in the runs column, but a 0 in the hits column. But that's what Kara Gottney's working with right now, and she's doing a tremendous job in the circle.
See if West Virginia can get those bats going again. They scored 2 runs in their last at bat. With the Georgia lead in half, Georgia started the game up 4-0. Paisley Hall, favorite movie, The Sandlot. She's a catcher.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
One of the best baseball movies ever. Taking some big hacks pitches up in the zone, just missed that one. Was on time.
To right field, base hit for Paisley Hall. So the West Virginia bats getting going here in their last 2 at bats.
The first hit of the game for West Virginia. In back-to-back innings, West Virginia is able to get their leadoff runner on last inning. It resulted in 2 runs, trying to get things going again here in the top of the 5th inning.
So the tying run coming to the plate now for West Virginia, Olivia Kish. Kish started the game out pitching, moved over to third base, drew a walk in her first at bat today. Kish, a big West Virginia baseball fan. The team going to the College World Series this year.
It's a good year to be a West Virginia baseball fan.
Done well a lot of sports this year. Favorite athlete, Montana Fouts.
she gets out of here. Montana Fouts getting the start today for the Talons. Go check out her game after she gets done taking care of business here, of course.
Gottlieb having trouble finding the strike zone right now. 3-1 the count. And she has been so efficient today. Kish draws her second walk of the game, and suddenly West Virginia has 2 base runners on. And Brandon Sisa, the Georgia manager, is going to head back out to the circle.
As Olivia Kish was running over to her coach from first base, she looks to the crowd and is raising her arms, trying to get the excitement from her fans. And I just keep thinking back to that bases loaded situation that West Virginia was able to get out of when Boyd came in the circle, and I felt like the momentum really shifted there, and they've really built off of that as we move later in the game.
Looks like we may have a change in the circle for Georgia. Coach Sisa is talking to our home plate umpire, Brad Nelson, and they are going to make the change. Over Cash will come in to pitch. We'll step away and come right back. We mentioned Georgia has a lot of options at pitcher, and they've just exercised one of those. Hayden Overcash is now in the circle with this Georgia team.
She's going to give a different look in the circle. Not going to have the velocity that we saw with Gottney, but she can spin the ball really well, has great control, hits her locations, and her coach said that her drop curve is a nasty pitch when it's on.
She and Kara Gottney switching positions. Overcash came over to second. That's where Gottney is now. Overcash can try to shut down this West Virginia rally. They've got 2 on with no outs. Bunt laid down beautifully, and they do get the out at first. Gottney came over to cover first, but it advanced the runners to second and third.
What a play by the right side. Great bunt, great location, but Gottney coming over from second base has a long ways to go, and then Lania has to lead her to the bag, makes a nice throw to a moving target, is able to find first base and record the out. That was a high-level play that was executed very well.
So the lead run at the plate now for West Virginia. Ava Green up to bat, runners at second and third with 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning. Winner of this game survives and advances, and the loser's season is over. was frozen. Doesn't get the call. Overcash doesn't get the strike. Good discipline by Green. Just stood there and watched that pitch. Just didn't land in the strike zone. One and two the count. And a called strike three.
That one landed in the strike zone on the outside part of the plate, down in the zone. Great location for a 1-2 pitch. You couldn't ask for a better spot there. Right at the knees. Comes in relief, gets her first strikeout.
Jaslyn Tolliver up to bat now for West Virginia. To try to not strand two runners here with two outs.
With two outs, runners are going to be moving on contact. Anything to the grass, we could have a tie ball game.
Another good pitch by Overcash, throwing off Tolliver. 1-2 the count. Coach Green going to talk to Tolliver right now, probably about the way she approaches this at bat. Much different type of pitcher they're facing.
A lot of spin, change of speed, not as hard, but a lot of movement. Be focusing, just trying to stay back and hit something to the right side. Force your body and your hands to be on time by trying to force something opposite field. Hear the fans getting into it. You know how important this moment it is in an elimination game.
Tolliver coming back to the batter's box now after the pep talk from Coach Green. 1-2 the count. And looks like they're going to send a pinch runner out for Paisley Hall, who's the catcher, which you're allowed to do with two outs. So out of the dugout pops Ava Green to run. 1-2 the count, top of the fifth inning, two outs. And the team prankster, Jaslyn Tolliver, up to bat. Another outstanding pitch by Overcash, strikes out two batters and saves runs being scored. 4-2 as we head now to the bottom of the fifth. West Virginia will have one more at bat to try to keep their season going. Georgia coming to bat now, up 4-2 in the bottom of the fifth. Raya Boyd stays in the circle for West Virginia. A little meeting here in the infield in the circle.
I tell you what, both teams have really laid it out on the line in this game. The fight from West Virginia, from being down 4-0 to cut that lead in half and get out some big innings on defense, and then Georgia being able to get themselves out of jam last inning and continue to swing the bats on both sides. The effort 100% all game long.
Madeline Gillespie, excuse me. It's going to be Cami Sisa up to bat for Georgia. What a game she's had so far today. Coach's daughter, 2 for 2. She scored 2 runs. She's the leadoff batter for this Georgia team. Sisa pops that up. And a catch not made by Kish. She and Padunovac were very close to each other. And so Sisa reaches on the error.
You mentioned it, 2 players shoulder to shoulder on this ball, both kind of going at it. Just the late distraction. I felt like Anderson had to, Kish had to reach for that at the last second, causing it to fall out of the glove.
So Gottney up to bat now. Kara Gottney. We'll see her sister right after she hits. Sisa on first as the base runner. Nice pitch from Boyd. Sisa thought about going to second, dives back to first.
Changeup's been on for Boyd in the circle, but nice job behind the plate. Paisley Hall holding on to it. Georgia's looking for some insurance. West Virginia's been threatening past couple innings.
Gottney's reached base in both of her at bats today. Started the game with a triple. Inside, 1-1. Spins out of the strike zone for the ball. 2-1. Got the Gottney sisters, the Overcash sisters, all in the Georgia lineup. And now 3-1. Georgia has only been held scoreless in 1 at bat. That was their last at bat. A nice play by Kish. As Kish got a good jump, caught that in the air for the first out. That's got to feel good.
Absolutely, making up for a little miscommunication on the previous play. This ball tailing away from her, having to navigate the bag as well. Big out for West Virginia. Nice play on the hot corner by Kish.
Expression never changes. I love it.
I do too.
It's locked in. Laney Gottney up to bat now. Trying to pick her sister up. Check to see if that, she went around on that swing, did not. Laney is the younger sister on the team. Kara just bad as her older sister. Laney wears her mom's college softball number though. Ball gets away, runner will advance to second. And she made the turn like she wanted to go to third, but holds it second. So Georgia with a runner in scoring position now, a 3-0 count to Gautney with one out here in the bottom of the fifth.
Size at second base, has a ton of speed. We saw her score earlier from second base in this game, and close play at the plate.
Called strike, 3-1. Sisa will be running right at her father, Brandon, who's third base coach and the manager.
Just misses on the changeup.
There's a lot of inhaling on what that call was going to be. And the walk. So now Georgia runners at first and second with one out. Peyton Stewart will come to the plate with a chance to drive some runs in here. Peyton is also a track athlete, so obviously good speed. That's a chopper towards second. A nice play by Ava Green to get the out at first. Runners move to second and third.
And Ava Green was fired up after that out too. A little fist pump, ground ball to the right side. Green comes in hard to get this. A lot of speed down the line, no hesitation, but a productive out for Peyton Stewart. Moves the runners up 60 feet and just 60 feet from scoring.
West Virginia trying to get out of trouble here and get that final at bat going.
That's all Raya Boyd does, is get out of trouble. Past 3 innings, a lot of traffic on the bases.
Overcast drives that out to left field, and it is caught by Gillespie. And so Georgia strands 2. West Virginia's season comes down to this next at bat. We go to the 6th with Georgia up 4-2. The Little League Softball Regionals on ESPN are presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. We are in the final inning of this first game. There's the West Virginia team just behind that scoreboard. They'll be taking on that Tennessee team in our next elimination game. It is scheduled for 1 Eastern time. We've just crossed the noon hour here in Warner Robins, Georgia. First 2 games of the day, elimination games. So the losers of these games, their incredible seasons will end, and the winners will continue to play on tomorrow. 2 more games this afternoon at 4 and 7 as well. And so Madeline Gillespie, who just made that fantastic play in center field, up to bat now for West Virginia. So West Virginia has to catch Georgia here. Good pitch by Overcash. Yes, we got way ahead of that pitch. Overcash has been so effective. 3 straight strikeouts.
She's coming into this relief role and has really dominated just by locating great pitches, but I love the effort there by Gillespie. 2 big cuts on pitches close to the zone, gave it all she had.
7 strikeouts combined for the Georgia pitching staff today. There's another strike thrown to Evelyn Adkins. Right over to Overcash. Overcash makes the play. 2 down. So West Virginia team from the small area of Logan, West Virginia, have played big. Made it all the way to the region. The state champions from West Virginia. Macy Pruitt, the batter for West Virginia, trying to get something started here.
Pruitt was the leadoff batter back in the 4th inning when they scored those runs. She came across to score.
What? That's just a beautiful pitch. Wow. Come on.
That's a tough pitch to handle.
So Pruitt going to go over and talk to manager Lou Green. I did want to point out, Lou and his wife, they run an organization called Appalachian Tribe Athletics, and it's a nonprofit that raises money so that girls in West Virginia can play travel sports, which is a fantastic thing to do. Where's that pitch again?
Filthy. That nonprofit that they run is special.
Yeah.
I love that he pulled Macy Pruitt aside and ended the conversation with a big smile and a big hug.
One and 2 the count, 2 outs. Georgia looking for the win. It's hit on the ground. Shortstop Sisa picks it up. Foot was off the bag, so West Virginia still alive for at least another batter. The tying run coming to the plate for West Virginia.
And if you're West Virginia and Logan Little League supporters, this is all you could ask for, is to bring the tying run to the plate, give your team a chance, and that's exactly what Macy Pruitt did. Hustled down the line, sat on that changeup, put it in play, made something happen.
Ashanti Hairston, the batter.
Just the fight that West Virginia has shown all game long. I'm so impressed.
Started the game down 4-0. Big pitch, 1-1. West Virginia scored their 2 runs in the 4th inning and, without having a hit. Had 1 hit today. A great job by the Georgia pitching staff. Overcash trying to go inside corner, misses, 2-1.
Harrison had a great at-bat in her first at-bat of the game. Fell behind 0-2, then worked it back to get a walk. Good cut there.
2-2. West Virginia's season coming down to this at-bat. Georgia trying to survive and advance. Sisa will field it, makes the throw. Game over. Georgia moves on and will play tomorrow afternoon at 1 Eastern. Opponent to be determined later today. And we say so long to the wonderful team of the Logan All-Stars representing the state of West Virginia, who had a magical season and have come here and represented their state well.
West Virginia has a ton to be proud of, what they performed and kept fighting all game long, but Georgia just outlasts them to advance to tomorrow's game.
So we know Georgia will be playing tomorrow afternoon at 1 Eastern. They will clear the field now, and we'll be getting ready for our next game coming up at the top of the hour, Tennessee and Alabama in our second elimination game. So the home team, Warner Robins, state champions of Georgia, they survive and defeat a very good team from West Virginia to move on in this competition. For Brittany McKinney and our hardworking crew here, I'm Sam Gore. We will be back for the start of Tennessee and Alabama at the top of the hour.